mainstream press talking about this stuff, Sean Hannity is on the radio.
All right, 25 to the top of the hour. Oh, it's Andrew. This is going to be one of the moments that they look back for generations. Yeah, and let me tell you something, Andrew Cuomo. As you waste, fraud, and abuse and lack of preparation, those are questions you're going to have to answer for. You're getting 5 hospitals. You're getting a Navy hospital. You've gotten 4,000 ventilators that you yourself acknowledge you don't need right now, but you might need. By the way, it's the right thing to do. Up to nearly 40,000 cases in New York alone. Vast majority. It is ground zero. Makes sense. It's an international city, New York City. We want to help the people in New York City. We want to stop the pandemic. We want people healthy. I'm with the president. How many deaths are acceptable? None. We don't want any. You know, we lost tens of thousands of people to the flu. Gas flu season. And every flu season. 60.8 million Americans contracted H1N1. Hundreds of thousands of Americans were hospitalized as a result of N1H1 of your Joe Biden. That's a lot of people. First year, nearly 13,000 Americans died. I don't want anybody to die. I want a cure for cancer. I put all of this. Go look at the Hannity.com timeline. I don't have time to respond to idiots. Now, worldwide, we have 585,040 people that have contracted corona that we are aware of. I still can't believe China's numbers. We don't know. Worldwide, we have so far, there are 26,819 deaths. In the U.S., we're close to 100,000 that have contracted the virus, 97,028. 1,475 Americans have died as a result of coronavirus. Thank God we put the travel ban in effect. That was 10 days after identifying the first known case in the United States. We're watching the mob and the media. They were telling us, there'll be a bunch of babies. And you know, the funny thing is, they accused me that I changed. I didn't change at all. And then as soon as I went back, as soon as my team went back, as soon as Linda went back, as soon as everyone else went back, well, what did we discover? January 27th, Anthony Fauci was on my television show. And the 27th and the 28th, I was saying, I don't like this. Because people that are asymptomatic for days and days, they are highly contagious. That's a problem, and it looks like it might be aerosol or airborne, as they say. I was saying that back in January, even before the travel ban. I saw it, I understand it. It just so happens all of my friends are doctors. I ask a lot of questions. I do have a favorite story to tell about this. I do have one doctor friend of mine, and, you know, before I'll ever call a doctor, I'll have researched whatever it is to death. And one day, and Linda, you know who this is. So one day, I call him, and I start telling him, you know, everything that I learned. And he's like, he goes, let me ask you a question. If you have all the answers, do you want to listen to Dr. Google, or do you want to listen to your real doctor? I said, all right, touche, because if you start reading all of these things, you begin to get crazy. And I'm not a hypochondriac in any way. I thankfully, God bless anybody that's healthy. We take health for granted. We really do. The mob and the media, Gallup, they are the biggest loser. American people have been lied to for over 3 years. It is the same cast of characters that lie. It is the same cast of characters that hate and distort. Same cast of characters that slander and smear and besmirch and advance a political agenda. President's approval rating up sharply. Well, maybe we shouldn't cover these press conferences. He's doing too well. He looks too presidential. He's actually doing all of these things. You know, and that's why I'm watching Cuomo. Oh, we're going to look back at this moment. Yeah, you know we're going to discover, Andrew Cuomo, that you didn't prepare, that you yourself, in the state of New York, you wasted a fortune, along with your partner-in-chief, Comrade de Blasio. And we're going to see that this president is rewriting the book right now. You should have known Mayor de Blasio. You should have known Governor Cuomo in your third term. that New York, after the first Trade Center bombing, after 9/11, you should have known New York is a target. Being a target, that means you need greater capability for people that might be injured in some type of terrorist attack. You are beyond ill-prepared for anything. And the same with the city. I mean, there's no excuse for your lack of preparedness. None whatsoever. And, then we go back and we start looking at the monies that you spent over the years. It is unconscionable. Then you lie to the people of New York. We're only getting $3.5 billion. We're being left behind. Well, Chuck Schumer even contradicts you. You're getting well over $40 billion. Not only that, the president has directed the federal government to get you all the help that you need. We now know that the president approved a major disaster declaration for New York. That gave you access to billions of dollars. You will have this coming Monday a U.S. Navy hospital ship with 1,000 beds in New York Harbor. The president did that for you too. The president now has ordered, and we have begun the process of building with the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers the construction of 4 hospitals with 4,000 beds and converting the Javits Center into an additional hospital. That's 6 new hospitals you're going to have ready in a case of a worst-case scenario. You got 4,000 ventilators this week, and you got more on the way. You got hundreds of thousands of masks and gloves and other medical gear I can't believe you yourself didn't prepare for, because you had a lot of money for a lot of other things, and you will get the money needed to take care of the people in New York. It's in the country's best interest to prevent New Yorkers from getting other people sick. Ron DeSantis in Florida was right to say, if you're coming from New York, you got to quarantine yourself 2 weeks. Don't bring your disease here. I'll tell you another thing that Florida ought to do. They ought to have a test. Don't bring with New York, after you've ruined that city and that state, don't bring your liberal policies to our state and ruin this state the way you ruined the state you just came from. I mean, I look at the money that they wasted. They have $170 billion. New York State spent last year alone, another $90 billion in New York City? It's insane amounts of money. You know, when you wasted $750 million, Governor, on a solar panel factory that you had to close down because it failed, how many gowns, how many masks, how many respirators, how many ventilators could you have purchased? Or your $90 million debacle with a partnership in a light bulb company? Or the $600 million you wasted on a computer chip factory? Or the fact that you were warned in 2015, you were the governor then, that you needed more ventilators, but you got a task force together to determine what? How the state's 2,000 ventilators already on hand should be rationed. By the way, you know, it's not a matter of just having ventilators. You need people that know how to operate them. I mean, it's unbelievable. Anyway, confidence in the president is way up. Gallup, the biggest failure in this is the mob and the media. By the way, Joe Biden, everybody's freaked out about Joe Biden. Every Democrat I know is like, what the hell is going on? I mean, 4 yesterday, debacles. You know, we hold these truths, etc., etc., etc. I guess it's better than we hold these truths to be self-evident that all men and women are created equal and endowed by the thing. You know, the thing. It's a disaster. And the 5 other gaffes yesterday. Now they're trying to stop the gaffes by stopping the live streaming that they can't even get on the air half the time. Now he's got a sexual assault charge against him. Democrats now hit the panic button as Biden now had to drop off the radar screen because he can't talk and coherently and give anybody any confidence of anything. I'll say one last thing and we'll get to our guest. It is relevant that they wouldn't. It's hysteria, xenophobia, and it's fear-mongering, the travel ban. No, that saved thousands and thousands and thousands of Americans from contracting the virus and exponentially thousands from dying. And it bought us needed time to prepare. And you, on that day, were against it, and you're still against it. Pretty dumb on your part. Anyway, now there is the other side of this. There's the Mike Lindell, there's the GM. I won't mention all the companies. I'll scroll it again on TV tonight. He now is working to make masks using his MyPillow facilities. Tyler Merritt is also with us, founder of 911.